Hello crafty friends, this is the Papered Chef here. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create Tic-Tac Snowman treats using your brother's ScanNCut SDX125. I started making Tic-Tac Snowman treats several years ago. When I first started making them, I created the circles using different die cuts that I had, and then I would punch the little hole for where the Tic-Tac showed through using a Scalloped Circle punch. And then last year, I sort of had an epiphany and I was like, why am I not using my ScanNCut to create this shape for the snowman? And I showed how to do this tutorial using the CM350 or ScanNCut 2. I showed how to do it using the large Tic Tacs, like I'm going to show you here. And I also used mini Tic Tacs, which used to be available at the Dollar Tree. Since I haven't been able to find the mini Tic Tacs anymore, and I'm talking about the ones that come 3 for $1. Instead, I'm using the 1 ounce Tic Tacs. You can get them at any checkout counter. It's like your impulse item that you buy in any grocery store. So this is the 1 ounce Tic Tac pack, and you can buy them in bulk. And if you want, there'll be a link in the description of where to buy those on Amazon in bulk, which is how I do it, especially around this craft fair season. All right, so that was a little introduction, and it used to be really time-consuming to make these, and now with the Brother ScanNCut, you can just pop lots of these out. These are great for craft fairs, holiday bazaars, stocking stuffers, and just gifts to give out this holiday season. So what I've done is I've just put a piece of cardstock. You're going to use white cardstock, okay, just thick white cardstock, and you're going to put that on your ScanNCut. And you're going to create your shapes that you need right from the machine. We don't even need to use Canvas Workspace, which is really nice. Okay, I had my stylus. We're just going to use my little spatula. All right, so when you turn on your machine, you're going to see Pattern and Scan. We're going to use built-in patterns, so just click on Pattern. Okay, we want a circle. Okay, let's get 2 circles to make our snowman. Let's first get the big circle. The big circle's for the bottom. Okay, the bottom of your snowman. And that big circle is going to be 3 inches. So just select the circle, BA-A045. And you're just going to, if you change the height or width, the other number will change. That's because right now it's set to stay in proportion. Okay, so 3 inches, we want the first circle. Go ahead and set that. All of the measurements will be in the description of this video. So you don't have to take notes right now. You can just watch and then, later on, look in the description of the video and you'll get the measurements. We're going to add another circle. Let's go ahead and say add. Go to pattern, add a circle again. And we're going to go down. Same shape, just a circle. And this circle is going to be 2.25 inches. Again, you change the height, you change the width, they stay in proportion, because it is a circle. Okay, so 3 inches for the top and 2.25 inches, 3 inches for the bottom and 2.25 inches for the top. All right, so now what we're going to do, because we want the front of the snowman to look just like the back of the snowman. So what we need to do is overlap these circles slightly. Okay, not too much, don't do this, right? That won't look like a snowman. You want to just overlap them slightly. Okay, maybe something like that. So they're overlapped about, let me just move my little, here. I'm going to go to edit and just nudge it down. I'm going to say maybe about 1/2 inch they overlap, okay? So in the edit, you can sort of use this 4-directional arrow and nudge them. And that will make them not overlap so much. About 1/2 inch of those circles overlap. Okay, so we have I'm going to zoom in so you can see what's going on. We have a professional machine here. We have a ScanNCut. Okay, let's use the machine for what it's good for, and that is making things come out really nice. And so we're going to align these. We're going to align the circles, because right now I can tell the top circle is sort of off to the left a bit. So they're not aligned. So you're going to go in, you're in the editing mode, and you're just going to select this button here, the 3 little red squares. This is the selection tools. I'm going to select this one. And the one on the right just means select everything. Okay, now with everything selected, which is just our two circles, I'm going to say okay. And now we're going to go into the same thing that we were just using, the 4 directional arrows. And we are going to align these circles so that they're vertically aligned on top of each other. Okay, so go up to this one here, the top button, the alignment tool. We want those little crosshairs, which are the centers of the circles, to be aligned in relation to each other. Okay, so that we want this, that's what we selected, this. It aligns them vertically. Okay, that's the only one we need to use. And we just say okay and say okay again. Now, we're just going to go into Object Edit, okay? With them both selected still, we want to weld them together, okay? Because we want this to be one snowman shape. So if we weld them together, we can move this whole shape around. So click on this weld button. That's the one down here, the little solid shapes. Okay, now we have one snowman, okay? It says the weld, it says click OK, and it's irreversible. That's okay. So now we're good. Now we have a snowman, and here he is. Here he is. We have a snowman. That's already cute. I mean, this makes the great makings for a Tic-Tac treat already, right? But we need 2 of them so that they are going to be, the front and the back of our Tic-Tac Snowman treat. Let me just show you that closer up. Okay, so here we have, there's our snowman. That's the front. So we're going to be making a hole, but the back, and the back of the other one is just solid. Okay, so we just need a solid shape. Sorry, I'm so close up right now. I have it zoomed in. Now, we need to duplicate this shape. So with it selected, it's still selected, it's in red, selected. We're going to go up here to this button, the second one in the editing mode, and that's the number, and we're going to increase it to 2. So that's how we duplicate the shapes. Okay, let's move one out of the way. He's over there. And what we want to do then, we're just going to say okay. We're going to say okay again. We want to get back to where it says add. And now that we can see the add, we're going to add the scallop circle. The scallop circle is going to go through the little belly of one of these snowmen for the Tic Tacs. So we're going to say add, and we go to pattern. Now I'm going to just zoom out because I don't want you to miss anything there. Zoom it out. Okay, so we went add pattern, go to the pattern, scroll down, scroll down. There we go. Here are our scallop circles. Any of these would look cute, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 scallop circles, which will look pretty cute. Even the starburst would look cute. Any of these would look cute. So it's up to you, but I chose the one that says 50 at the end. BA-A050. I chose the one with the 50, that one. Okay, that's the scallop circle I chose. Now, we're going to make this 1.25 inches wide. Again, all of the measurements are going to be in the description. And if you have a CM350, I'll even link to the video where I did this last year with the CM350. But this year it's even better because of the materials I'm using. My snowmen are so much easier to dress up this year than last year. So I definitely wanted to show this again because I have new materials I'm using. Okay, we're going to say set. So now we have a circle that is 1.25 inches, and we need to put that inside of one of our snowmen. Okay, so it doesn't matter which snowman. We're going to put it about there. So in other words, this scallop circle is going right in the middle of its tummy here. Let's zoom in, right in the middle. But how do we know it's in the middle, right? We're professional crafters. We're going to make sure it's in the middle. So let's do this. Let's move that snowman away a little bit. And when we go into editing mode, we're going to select again. This time, instead of selecting everything with that button there on the right, we're going to use the button on the left, which means we're going to draw a selection around the things we want to select. Let me zoom out. So when you select the button on the left, it lets you draw a selection. We want to just draw a selection around these 2 pieces, the scallop circle and the snowman. So let's say okay. Oops, it didn't really let me do that, did it? Okay, there we go. I just deselected that one. Okay, so all this is you're selecting just that one, selecting an area. Okay, that's all we did. So, and if you have something else that's selected that you don't want, you just click on it to deselect it. That would have just worked just fine. Now we want to align them. Okay, let's go ahead and say okay. we're going to go to this little 4 arrows. We're going to align them vertically again, like we did earlier. We're going to click on the alignment tools and we're going to align them vertically. You might not have seen anything happen, right? But they are aligned. The crosshairs are perfectly aligned. You may have done that already just by eyeballing it, but I like to be precise because we have a professional machine. Let's be precise. So let's say okay. And the last thing we want to do is we want to group these 2 objects so that they're one. We want to cut the scallop out of the middle, but we want to move them together. So let's say okay. Edit. We're in the editing mode, and we're not going to weld them together because we would have this big blob, right? We need the circle to be cut out independently in the middle. We're just going to group them together. That's the one with the circle and triangle. By grouping them, now we can move this around, okay? We can move this around as one. Now let me teach you a little tip about saving on paper. Okay, so if you take the second snowman, or it can be the first snowman, it doesn't matter. You take one of your snowmen, you can rotate it so that it's upside down and you'll get a little bit more paper. You'll save a little more paper. So click on this button here. It's the 3rd button in the editing screen. That's your rotate button. And just go ahead and rotate it. 90 degrees twice means you're rotating it 180. So hit the 90 degrees to the right twice, and now you have a little bit of room you can save there. Let's say okay. I moved it over using my stylus, which is supposed to be my stylus, which already is lost in those few minutes, so I'm using my spatula. But you can move it over with your stylus, but also you can do what's called nudging. So you can use these little arrows, and if you just want to nudge it, you can nudge it a pixel at a time without overlapping it. So you want to kind of keep them close together, but you don't want to overlap the 2 shapes. Now we can then go in, let's say okay. Oops, sorry, let's go back. We can do one more thing. Because I have an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock, so if you want, you can say, go back to edit, and you can go to select again. Select everything. Selecting everything is this button here on the right. Select everything. Say okay. And now what we can do is we can go to Object Edit. We can group all these snowmen together, all the parts, okay? Group again. And now we can duplicate this. We can say plus and 2. Okay, what did that do? That just saved us, let us save a lot of time. So we can cut out 2 Tic Tac treats at once. Now that's because my paper's on the mat vertically. If I were to place an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock on the mat this way, then I would have just moved those over here. Oh no, I couldn't because they really won't. That kind of goes over past 11 inches, doesn't it? Let's just keep the paper this way, and you will get 2 Tic-Tac Snowmen out of one 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock. We're going to say okay. We're going to say okay. We're ready to just cut these now. So we're going to say, you saw me say okay a few times. Please select and cut. Okay, it's going to take 2 minutes. We'll see you in 2 minutes. All I've done, if you missed it, you're new to the ScanNCut. Earlier I loaded the mat, and now I'm cutting, and I'll show you now, after the 2 minutes, how I unload the mat and how these pieces look and how we assemble the Tic Tac treats. All right, we're done cutting our snowman Tic Tac treats. We say okay, and we unload the mat. Okay, we're done with the Brother ScanNCut portion, and now I will show you how to dress up your snowmen. And, oh wait, one more thing. If you want, crafty friends, right, you can save this as well. So go back and just click on save, okay? I teach this in my online courses as well, so a lot of my students already know this. Just click save. And where do you want to save it? Do you want to save it to your machine, to a thumb drive or USB stick, or to the wireless Canvas workspace? Just go ahead and save it to your machine and say okay. And it's telling you that you can't ungroup patterns once you save them, so say okay. And now you have a saved pattern or template. You can make loads of these for your craft fairs now. It's item number 65. Let's go back to the home screen. Say okay. If you want to retrieve it, okay, you've just made some Tic Tacs, which I'll show you how to decorate them. You retrieve the data by going here, retrieve data, retrieve it from your machine, and then scroll down all the way to there it is. There's some Tic Tacs. Okay, I did it earlier. So there's your snowman Tic Tac treats that you save. All right, so that's all. So that's all for the ScanNCut. Now, let's do this. Let's decorate, or let's just show you how I would decorate or dress up the snowman treats. Okay, so first of all, we're just gonna peel. This is thick whisper white cardstock. So if you're following along and you don't have a SDX125, say you have a CM350 and you're watching my updated version where I use really different products this year to make these, then what you're gonna do is you're gonna use a blade depth of 5. Okay, so on the CM350 where you didn't have auto blade technology, you would have used a blade depth of 5 to cut out thick whisper white cardstock, or pretty much thick cardstock. All right, so you're going to take these off the mat and save your little scallop circle, because you can punch a cute sentiment on that later. Okay, to remove these from the mat, just either bend the mat, use your spatula. Okay, just get them off the mat that way. Okay. So now we have our little snowman treats. And now we're going to, with it still like flat, you decorate it. Don't try to decorate it once it's on the Tic Tacs, right? So you're gonna decorate it. Now, I was so excited this year when I started making these. I have done so much work on these in the past, with the using the stamp sets, which I'm gonna show you. But then this year I was like, I have a snowman embellishment kit. And I was so excited to just use that for making the little face this year. Okay, so where did I get it from? In the Stampin' Up! Catalog this year, we have what's called the Let It Snow Suite. If you would like a holiday catalog, I do have extra holiday catalogs and I can send you one. Use my contact form in the description. Look at that cute little face on the box. That's a Kirby keepsake box. Okay, where did they come from? It came from the Let It Snow. That's the suite, Let It Snow. Let It Snow Embellishment Kit. The embellishment kit has these little stickers. Okay, and in the little stickers, there's little carrot noses. Now, if you watched last year's version of this tutorial, you would have seen that I used Wiggle Eyes. I showed you how to cut out carrots using the ScanNCut and how to use Google Eyes. Okay, we did a lot more work. This year, I've been decorating the little boxes. This year, I am all over this embellishment kit. I'm so happy to have it because it just does such great things. It just has all these little arms and mouths and pieces of coal. But not only that, the embellishment kit has other things. And you've seen me use these other things when I made things on YouTube. This is my second embellishment kit. It has little felt hats, felt scarves, and felt mittens. It has glitter tape, and it even has little snowballs. I don't know where my snowballs went, but it comes with little styrofoam snowballs. All right, so then so what you do is you take your start with your carrot. I'm just using tweezers. Okay, oh, you want this one. This is the front, obviously, right? So you start with your little carrot nose, and these stickers stick on really well. And then you're gonna put some little coal eyeballs. Again, if you don't have this little embellishment kit and you're like, I need to make one of these Tic-Tac Snowmen right away with my ScanNCut, then use Wiggle Eyes, right? And you can cut out circles for the mouth and eyes using your ScanNCut. But I really like these because they're coal. And I don't know what the developers were thinking when they made so many eyes but not enough little mouths. See, there's lots more eyes than there are little ones for the mouths. But, I guess they didn't really do the count. Or maybe not all snowmen are going to have mouths, because that would look cute too. I've done this without mouths. I've done little snowman treats without mouths, and they looked cute too. I'm just trying to figure out where to put this little smiley face. That's the little trick. If you're not right above it, it's going to be kind of hard to put. There we go. So what I do when I make my smiley face is I start out with 3 and then I put the other 2 in the middle. So that's how I make my smile face. So like I put 3 down, and then I take the other 2 and stick them right in the little gaps. And that way my mouth's kind of even. And the last little mouth. Sometimes I use my tweezers and sometimes I just use my hand. There we go. So there we go. We have a cute little snowman face. Now we're going to take your Tic Tacs and you want to hide. So you want to do the front first. because the back's going to match up to the front, but you want to put the front over the hole. That's why I said 1.25 inches, right? But you also want to hide this little bit. See? So you want to hide your Tic Tacs behind there. That's why you overlap it about 1/2 inch, and that way it kind of hides your Tic Tacs, right? So you want to kind of make it like that. You don't want the silver showing through. You just want the Tic Tacs showing through the belly. Okay? And you know, you can experiment with it. But once you get the shapes you want, that's when you save it to your machine and you're like, that's perfect, I got it the way I wanted. I just use a little bit of rolling adhesive on there. Okay? Just a little bit of rolling adhesive. Like you can use snail. I'm just using a little tape glider. You can use glue dots. You can use foam adhesives, but I like to make it flat and flush. And you know, the person has to get to the Tic Tacs and eat them, right? This is just a cute decorative gift pouch. But really, they're going to eat the Tic Tacs. So now that we have the front attached, then you can attach the back. So now you can put as much adhesive as you want on this middle part, because the front is what matters, to getting that part straight. Okay, I need to put some color in my, just for color balance, I'm going to stick that little embellishment kit in there. My color gets way off, it just goes in and out if I have too much white in my screen. Okay, so then I'm just putting I'm putting a little bit of adhesive on the back, but now I want to make sure that these are both like lined to each other. So what I do is I put them on a table like that so that they align. And just kind of, or just lay this one down and put that one over the top. But you just want to make sure that they're aligned. And they, you know, that way if somebody looks at it from the front, depending on how you have them on display, then they look like they're perfectly in line with each other. Yeah, like that. Okay. So you line up the front and the back. Cool. And that's it. Now they can even pop this open. In fact, if kids buy this, they're going to pop it open and they can eat the Tic Tacs right out of there. Let's do some finishing touches, shall we? Using other things from the Let It Snow embellishment kit. So what we have here is what I decided to use for one of the scarves. I'm just showing you how I dressed up my snowman. I used the real red curly ribbon. Curly ribbon is something that's in the Let It Snow suite. Whenever I cut my ribbon for tag treats or for anything, when I'm making bookmarks and tag treats, I just go like this, because I never have a ruler handy. I just go like a diagonal across my stamp set. I always have a stamp set handy. So I just lay the ribbon diagonally across my stamp set and snip it. And that's about how much ribbon you need for a bookmark or for making a little scarf on your snowman. So before you fray the ribbon at the end, because it frays automatically, I just sort of tie a little knot and then I fray the ends. So we'll kind of have the little scarf going off to the side. But first tie a knot, double the knot. This curly ribbon is so fantastic because it just frays automatically, which is what you want out of a scarf. I mean, I don't even have to fray it. It just frayed automatically. But do tie the knot so that you can still see the curly part on the neck. Okay, I'm going to show you one other way to make a scarf too, because we have other materials you can use. Okay, and then I just used the little hat from cutting out the designer series paper, which is in the Let It Snow suite. I just used a little hat, and even though the hat's not quite in proportion to the head, I will give you a little tip on how to make your hat bigger, or I'll refer you to a tutorial I did. So what I'm doing is putting a little bit of glue on the hat, and we're just going to stick a little hat that I cut out of the Let It Snow designer series paper onto the snowman. Okay, I'm going to put that off to the side. And I want to just mention something right now. Okay, so we have this little hat. Now, about a couple months ago, when I went to a retreat over the summer, I was able to win this prize from one of the reps from Stampin' Up! Came to the retreat. And so I was able to win this prize before I even got the stamp set. I was able to get the Snowman Builder punch. So a couple months ago, and I'll link to it in the description, I showed the Snowman Builder punch using the Brother ScanNCut. And what I did in that tutorial is I hope you can follow along with what I'm about to say, is I showed my crafty friends how to punch out shapes using this Snowman Builder punch and how to enlarge them. So if you want your hat to be in proportion, that's fine. The size of this little hat on the punch is this little hat. But if you want to double the hat size, you want to make a big hat. I kind of like the small cute hat. But if you want to make a big hat, use that tutorial where I showed you how to use ScanNCut data to punch out and make a giant snowman out of this Snowman Builder punch using your ScanNCut, okay? So these are all just ideas for how to dress up your snowman. All right, other things you could do is the Snowman Embellishment Kit comes with these little arms. You could stick little arms on them, but I'm saving my arms for some other projects, and I'll be showing some nugget treats. Okay, so let me show you other ways to dress up though. I've already cut out some things. Anyway, I'm gonna be using these on other projects. So I'm not using arms on the snowman. But if you want to dress it up this way, using cut out stamped images, then I have another stamp set that is retired now. Okay, everything I showed you up till now is not retired. It's in the Let It Snow suite. But several years ago, we had a stamp set called Snow Place. And now you can't get this anymore, but this is how but a lot of you might have it because I know I have a lot of, Stampin' Up users on this channel using Stampin' Up products. So that's how I cut. So I stamped this in Memento black ink, and I stamped the little scarf using Real Red. And I just think that's another cute way of dressing up your snowman. And also, so you can put your little hat on there, put your little scarf on there. And that's what I did before I got these embellishment kit, but it's just going to be more time consuming. And I have some wiggle eyes just to show you what that would look like. You can put some wiggle eyes on there. So these are all just ideas on how to dress up your snowman. You can do the same thing I'm showing you with mini Tic Tacs, and then this little hat and scarf look even cuter. Okay, but I think the hats were definitely made for the snowman that you stamp out with the Snowman Season stamp set. All right, so back to the Snowman Season stamp set, and I'm wrapping things up here. If you want to do some extra things, like you can get this now, you can get the Snowman Season stamp set, and you want to do something extra on your snowman, on the back, see which one I did it to. Did it to the back of this one. You can do a little to from, okay? So I just wanted to show you that. So I used Blueberry Bushel because it's a nice color that coordinates with the suite, and I just put to and from using the little stamp from the Snowman Season stamp set, available now. Okay, so if you want a holiday catalog, use the contact form in the description of this video, and you can get your hands on Snowman Season, Snowman Builder Punch, Snowman Embellishment Kits, all kinds of stuff. Okay, and you can even stamp the little hats. You can do lots of things for this season making these. Okay, these make great gifts, craft fair items, and I hope you will make some Tic Tac treats using your brother's ScanNCut this holiday season. That's all for now. This is the Papered Chef.